Welcome back to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS. It's time for Owin's Field Report, sponsored by Les Schwab Tire Centers.
Now, this week, obviously, being very busy here in the Northwest, especially if you do what I do, right? Being stuck having the opportunities to get out and chase some fish around, but then obligations over at the Sportsman Show, helping out Good Day Oregon, which I think went really well. That was a ton of fun. Sparky, thank you for that. That worked out well. But I did get a chance to get out and chase some steelhead this week. Now, before we show any photos, don't do it yet. I did go out this week and spent a little bit of time in the big boat doing some back trolling, and I love to pull diver and sand shrimp around. And one thing that I'll tell you, depending on what system that you're on, you can learn a lot by just sitting down, being quiet, and just back trolling. Now, in the end, I didn't get anything, but that shouldn't surprise anyone, really. It was just a chance to see what the river has done. Going from spot to spot to spot is important. If you're a drift boater or a jet boater or somebody that walks in, pay attention to what you're seeing right now with these low water conditions that we have. You're going to see things that when the water does pop up that you are not going to know is even there, right? It's an advantage. And I say this because I found 3 different snags that completely wiped out my gear because I just didn't know it was there, all right? It's just one of those things. So it was a great reminder that when you do get out there, pay attention to what it is that you're seeing, right? Now, although I did get very lucky this week, I was able to jump in with moose, and like I said a couple of weeks ago, it's not who you are, it's who you know. If he puts you in the right position, you get lucky, and it kind of started, it did start out very good the day that, I believe this was on Wednesday? No, Thursday, I was at the show, I can't keep track. Go ahead, you can put it back up there. This was my first fish of the day, and it is a hatchery fish, and I did let it go. I want these fish, yes, just because of conditions, you want to see them make it back, but this one was just a little bit off color and obviously beautiful, would have cut perfect, but I just had the feeling that today could be, that particular day could be interesting, and there's plenty of chromers like this one around. That's the one that Moose got that day, just another dime. I mean, that's the way several of the fish were, but not all of them. And you can see I was able to actually take 2 fish home. Today I actually spread the wealth a little bit with Katie and Deb here, and Danielle, my director as well, because I love to do that. We don't like to freeze fish if we can avoid it. We'll give it away and let somebody else do so. But before I get to what we were fishing with, take a look what's in the mouth of that particular fish. That's a 1/4 ounce jig, by the way, everyone, with the pink worm on there. In gin clear water, telling you. I mean, it was super clear, and that's just one of the other ones that you just saw as I was holding them up. But it was an interesting day. It was pink worms on a 1/4 ounce jig head, straight sand shrimp, under a bobber, of course, and then beads. So it wasn't like you had to have the one bait, the one thing in order to get bit or be successful. I think it was just more or less keeping it in the water and running across a few fish. They just seemed like they were willing to cooperate, right? So I would say this, if these conditions hold out, meaning that it stays low overall in whatever system you're fishing, and the water stays clear like it is now, and I hate to say this because 8-pound is very, very nervous. It makes you very nervous. You could probably get away with more. All right, I'd rather get the bites. And if I lose a fish or break one off because of that light line, again, that falls on me, all right, in most cases, although I'd love to have the excuse that it wasn't my fault, which just isn't true. But it will help you get more bites. So you can, the heavier the poundage of fluoro P line you're using, you may sacrifice a bite or two, maybe. If you go lighter in poundage, smaller in bait size, you might get more bites, which I prefer, but things could go south in a hurry. So kind of keep that in mind. There are fish around, even in these conditions. Just kind of remember this too. Water's low, fish low, water's high, fish high. It doesn't matter what system you're in, what drainage, none of that matters. It's a very true statement. It's about as far as I can go with it. All right, we're gonna cut to a break. I'm being told, shut up, get out. Right now, we're going to come back to this break. We're going to have Tito Montemore from P-Line. We're going to find out what they've got going on over there at the Sportsman Show. And trust me, you need to look at their new braided line. I can't wait till I get there today because I'm going to be able to grab a couple for the first time. We'll be back in just a couple minutes with Tito Montemore from P-Line.
Outdoor GPS is brought to you by P-Line, because we fish, by Hawken Fishing, perfection in fishing gear, and by Haxton's Canvas and Upholstery, the trusted name of the Pacific Northwest.